If you grew up in the 1970s, your mind was forged in an environment that no longer exists. You belong to a generation whose childhood operated on a different set of physical and psychological laws. You inhabited a world of benign neglect that today would likely become a viral scandal. Think about it for a moment. Summers were long, unstructured expanses of time governed only by the rule to be home when the streetlights flickered on. Your primary mode of transport was a bicycle that you learned to fix yourself, not by watching a video, but through greasy trial and error. You navigated disputes in backyards and on sidewalks with a complex peer-to-peer justice system that rarely involved adult intervention. You were sent to the store with a handwritten note and a $10 bill, an emissary on a mission of trust. This freedom wasn't just a physical reality, it was a psychological crucible. It built in you an unshakable foundation of self-reliance, a deep-seated belief that you could handle things. It became the bedrock of your identity. But every foundation, no matter how strong, can have hidden fissures. That independence was forged in a kind of silence, in the absence of constant guidance and emotional validation. This experience created a powerful psychological blueprint, one of immense strength and resilience. But what were the unspoken costs of all that freedom? What are the hidden cracks in that foundation that might still show up in your life today? That quiet confidence, that internal mantra of, "I will figure it out," is one of your defining characteristics. It's a form of practical magic you learned early on, a superpower born from necessity. You carry it into your work, your relationships, and your personal challenges. It's the voice that pushes you to repair the leaky faucet before calling a plumber, to tackle the complex project at work without asking for help, to navigate a personal crisis with quiet resolve. This video is a celebration of that exact strength. We are going to explore precisely how that unsupervised freedom forged your greatest psychological assets. We will honor the resilience you inherited and the common sense you developed. But we will not stop there, because that is only half of the story. To truly understand the psychology of the 70s generation, we must also be honest about its consequences. We will go deeper and explore the hidden costs of that profound self-reliance. We will examine the unspoken side effects that often go unacknowledged. This isn't just a trip down memory lane. This is a journey into the complete psychological portrait of what it means to be part of the last free generation. We'll look at the fortress you built to survive, and then we'll gently check to see which of those walls might now be holding you in. So let's begin by understanding where that first and most important brick was laid. The core of your psychological blueprint is a profound and almost instinctual self-reliance. It wasn't taught in a classroom, it was absorbed through the very air you breathed. When you fell off your bike miles from home, scraping your knee on the unforgiving pavement, there was no one to call. There was no GPS to guide your teary-eyed journey back. Your only options were to assess the damage, get back on the bike, and limp your way home. That single experience teaches a child more about problem-solving and resilience than a dozen lectures. Psychologically, this creates what experts call an internal locus of control. It's the deep-seated belief that you are the primary agent in your own life, that your actions determine your outcomes. You learned that the only safety net was the one you wove yourself. This wasn't a depressing thought, it was an empowering one. It meant You had power. Think about the social dynamics of your childhood. A dispute over the rules of a neighborhood baseball game wasn't resolved by a parent mediator. It was a fierce negotiation, a miniature Supreme Court held on a dusty patch of grass. You learned to argue, to compromise, to stand your ground, and to accept a resolution, even if you didn't like it. This built social skills that are incredibly difficult to teach in a structured, supervised environment. It taught you how to read people, how to manage conflict, and how to maintain a functioning social order. This is why the default setting in your mind is still, if it needs to be done, I'll do it. This isn't arrogance. It is the baked-in result of 1,000 small moments where there was simply no other choice. From fixing the chain on your bike with nothing but your bare hands, to figuring out how to entertain yourself on a rainy Saturday with no screens, you were in a constant state of low-stakes problem-solving. Each small victory, each problem solved, added another layer to your confidence. You learned to trust your own judgment because, for the most part, it was the only judgment available. This continuous, real-world testing forged a mind that is practical, resourceful, and fundamentally unflappable in the face of the unexpected. And if you think that self-reliance came just from being left alone, you're only seeing half the picture. To truly understand it, we have to look at your parents. But this mindset didn't come from nowhere. It was an inheritance. You were most likely raised by parents who had survived the Great Depression or the Second World War, or were at least raised by those who had. They were members of a generation that understood scarcity and sacrifice on a level that is now almost unimaginable. They viewed life through a lens of stoic endurance. Their motto was not "follow your passion," but "do what needs to be done." Complaining was seen not just as a weakness, but as an insult to those who had endured real hardship. This emotional stoicism was passed down to you not through lectures, but through observation. You saw your father work long hours without a word of complaint. You saw your mother stretch a budget with quiet ingenuity. They didn't talk about their feelings, they managed them. This was then compounded by the unique anxieties of the 1970s itself. The oil crisis, staggering inflation, and a general sense of economic uncertainty meant that the post-war boom was showing its first signs of strain. The philosophy of waste not, want not wasn't just about leftover food on a plate. It applied to everything, including emotional energy. Expressing too much distress or need was considered a luxury, a waste of precious internal resources. Psychologically, this inheritance wired you for emotional frugality. You learned to compartmentalize your struggles, to put on a brave face, and to just get on with it. It gave you an incredibly high threshold for pain and discomfort. It taught you that problems were a normal part of life, not a reason to fall apart. You became someone who could be counted on in a crisis because you didn't panic. You just focused on the next logical step. This created a generation that could endure almost anything. You became masters of shouldering burdens silently. But in doing so, it also left many of you unprepared for a world that would soon demand a very different kind of strength, a strength we will explore in a moment. But let's be honest for a moment. That armor came with a cost. Here's the part we rarely admit to ourselves, even decades later. The same independence that makes you so capable can also make you incredibly isolated. The same stoicism that allows you to weather any storm can also prevent you from ever letting anyone in to help you rebuild. If you find it difficult to ask for help, you are not broken. It is a logical outcome of your training. For years, asking for help wasn't an option, so you simply stopped seeing it as one. Delegating tasks can feel like a personal failure, a confession that you aren't capable enough to handle it all yourself. You might be the person at work who takes on too much, staying late to finish it alone, rather than asking a colleague for support. You might be the one in your family who silently carries the emotional and logistical weight, believing that it is simply your job. This hyper-independence, once a survival tool, can become a barrier to true connection. It can make loved ones feel shut out, as if their help and support are not wanted or needed. And then there's the emotional side. When you're raised in an environment where feelings are treated as a low priority, you don't learn the language of emotional expression. You might not have the words to describe your own inner world, and you might feel uncomfortable when others express theirs too openly. Some people called it trauma. Your generation just called it life. This isn't a criticism. It's a diagnosis of a shared experience. The same armor that protected you then can imprison you now. It can keep you from experiencing the profound relief of vulnerability, the strength that comes from interdependence, not just independence. If this feels familiar, if you've ever felt a wall around your own heart that you yourself don't know how to take down, please know you are not alone. It's the hidden scar of your strength, the shadow that walks beside your resilience. Recognizing it is the first step toward integrating it. But this duality, this combination of incredible strength and hidden scars, is exactly what makes your generation so unique. It's what makes you the analog bridge. This isn't about being better or worse. It's about perspective. You are the last generation to speak both languages fluently, the analog language of patience and the digital language of immediacy. You remember a world where focus was the default state. To learn something, you had to read a book, concentrating for hours. To connect with someone far away, you had to write a letter, a process that demanded thoughtful composition and the patience to wait weeks for a reply. This trained your mind for deep focus, the ability to immerse yourself in a single task without the constant pull of distraction. Now, you live in and have adapted to a world of dynamic multitasking. Information flows in a constant, fragmented stream. Communication is instant. This is not inherently bad. It develops different cognitive skills, like the ability to quickly scan and synthesize information from multiple sources. But because you have lived so deeply in both worlds, you have a perspective that is vanishingly rare. You understand the value of boredom, that empty space where creativity and self-reflection are born. You know the satisfaction of mastering a skill through slow, repetitive practice, not just a 5-minute tutorial. You can appreciate the efficiency of an email while still remembering the emotional weight of a handwritten letter. This doesn't make you a relic. It makes you a vital bridge of understanding. You have the unique capacity to see the value in both the deliberate slowness of the analog past and the networked speed of the digital present. This perspective isn't just a badge of honor, it is a source of profound wisdom that our increasingly polarized world desperately needs. So, what do we do with this unique understanding? How can you use your position as the analog bridge to better connect with younger generations who have only ever known the digital side? The answer isn't to lecture them about how much harder you had it. It is to translate your experience into wisdom they can actually use. Here are 3 practical steps. First, translate your values. the language has changed. What you call resilience might sound to them like toxic invulnerability. Instead, frame it as advanced problem-solving skills. Instead of saying you have to be tough, share a story about a time you failed and what you did to figure it out, demonstrating the process of overcoming adversity. Your life is a library of case studies in problem solving. Second, acknowledge their world. It is pointless to judge their digital native experience against your analog childhood. Their challenges are different, but they are not less real. The pressure to curate a perfect online identity, the constant social comparison, and the mental exhaustion from information overload are immense burdens you never had to carry at their age. Acknowledging the validity of their struggles by saying, "That sounds incredibly stressful. I can't imagine dealing with that," is a powerful act of connection. It opens the door for a real conversation. And third, share stories, not lectures. Nobody wants to hear "back in my day," but everyone loves a good story. Instead of telling your kids they need to be more resourceful, tell them the specific, funny story about the time you had to fix the family TV with a coat hanger and a piece of tinfoil just to watch your favorite show. These stories are Trojan horses for your values. They carry the lessons of resilience, ingenuity, and patience without ever sounding like a preachy lecture. By translating, acknowledging, and sharing, you're not just bridging a generation gap, you're building a legacy of wisdom. If this deeper exploration of our shared psychology resonates with you, and you appreciate analysis that goes beyond the surface, please consider subscribing to the channel. We create content like this every week, aiming to provide not just validation, but genuine self-awareness. Your support allows us to continue these important conversations. Being from the 1970s means you embody a living paradox. You are a walking testament to the power of freedom and the quiet strength of stoicism. You learned to navigate the world with a compass inside you, not on a screen. You built a fortress of self-reliance to protect yourself, and it has served you well. But we've also seen that sometimes the walls of a fortress can become the walls of a prison. The very armor that made you strong can make it difficult to let others in, to show weakness, to ask for help. And that's okay. Recognizing those hidden cracks we talked about at the beginning isn't a sign of failure. It is the ultimate act of self-awareness. Your psychological blueprint is unique. It contains both the unshakable resilience forged in unsupervised summers and the quiet scars left by an era of emotional silence. You are not just a survivor of a bygone era. You are the bridge. You carry the memory of the old world and the fluency of the new one. And by understanding both your strengths and your scars, you can stand on that bridge not as a relic of the past, but as a wise guide for the future, ready to connect and share the incredible story of who you are. I am deeply curious to hear your own experience with this. So my question to you is this: what's one rule from your 70s childhood that would absolutely never fly today? Let us know in the comments below. And also tell me, were you a 70s kid or did you grow up in a different era? I'd love to see the mix of perspectives in our community. If this video made you think and you want to see more content that respects the complexity of our shared experience, please take a moment to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It truly helps us reach more people and continue the conversation. Thank you for watching.